Yes, welcome again. We have covered in a different way Eastern wisdom is the study to study yourself. If you do not study yourself, there is no chance of any progress and improvement. Remember this. Just in a last session where Dennis translates, when women says, I get all the information, I understand it, but I still remain in the same anxiety and distress. So we have to think why it is not, why it is not happening. And that's what I'm inspiring you all that you start applying these principles in your daily life the moment you wake up until you sleep. Don't see that this is a spiritual discipline and this is a my personal life and my professional life. No, they both are one. How do you perceive it? How do you perceive it? From the standpoint of a wave, just think from a standpoint of a wave to water. As long as the wave does not know that it is water, the wave should adore, respect, get identified with the water. I don't know that real self. So I meet you, I talk to you. Oh, you are also representing the same real self. The outward, it's okay, seeker and teacher, but inside, for the teacher of the Eastern wisdom, there is nothing like teacher or a guru or, yeah, guru means the knowledge. So you see the first standpoint, that is how you live your personal life, your professional life, your social life, your family life. Now, what about from the standpoint of I am an individual? So our masters give clarity that all individuals together, all individuals, not only the human beings, all living beings together, is one entity with the consciousness, and that is known as the Ishwar or the God. So the moment I think of an individual, oh, let us, I'm an individual, I'm a fractional part of that whole. And from the standpoint of what is the difference between wave and the water? There is no difference. It appears, difference appears. What is that difference? The name and the form. So you see that from the standpoint of existence, I am you and you are me. That is the entire summary of the Eastern wisdom. To realize each step, the 40 steps are there. Did you understand that? Understand in that way. And it is very important that my mind should think to continue to remove the delusion. Day before yesterday, I was giving a lesson on delusion. Delusion leads to foolishness. There are 5 types of foolishness that I will talk later. We just, oh, why you are acting foolishly. But we don't know, we don't understand what exactly is the foolishness. It comes from the delusion, and delusion comes from the ignorance. And what is ignorance? That I don't know my real nature, that I'm of the nature of peace and happiness. So I blame and complain, or I'm anxiety. You are responsible. You are reacting. I'll talk that later. So the moment you wake up in the morning, the first thing, do you remind yourself? First thought upon waking, think of the self discovery. No animals can think of it. That's why there is no school for animals, insects. Mind is saying something, but I'm not going there. That will be so. First thing first, that I should wake up in the morning and I should think, okay, that I'm the real self and that I have to realize it. That I have to realize it. That I have to realize it. And then you start with the Shanti mantra. Then you listen to it. Then listen, pick up any principle, contemplate and reflect. Why you contemplate and reflect? So that you can apply today in your life during the entire day or the next day, whose time zone is the night. And that is why I said grows. Sahana vavatu sahana bhunaktu sahaviryam karva vahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu vidvisha. I'm simply saying you start thinking every day in the morning and remember how many days you miss it. You miss means forgetfulness. Forgetfulness is one type of delusion. It comes from the ignorance. I take for granted that no, I have a suffering, I have a problem, I look into it, I enter into my false I. I have to remind myself until it becomes a constant phenomena all the time. That is why we say grow. Let us, may we all be protected. I'm guarding my mind from unnecessary thoughts. Grow or relish. Maybe we both nourish together. Whether you are with your honey or parents or son or stranger or employee, operate. I have to operate with viveka, the discernment and dispassion, not with an attachment. That results into the wisdom, and ultimately I think. What I think? Shanti to the known world, Shanti to the unknown world, and Shanti is within me. Shanti is within me. It is not uh, it is not so important to intellectually understand. It is the first step. But do you remind yourself that I'm a seeker? Or does the mind reminds you that you are a seeker? It will prevent you from lot of challenges in your life. I can bet you. In any situation. So we have to recognize that there should be a cognition that I am a seeker. And then if I am a seeker, then what are the two goals of a seeker? End of suffering and awakening. Then what is the end of the suffering? Suffering I experience in my personal, professional, social, and family life. You see that how the Eastern wisdom, from the spiritual consciousness, you are going down to what exactly you are doing. You need not to change anything what you are doing outside. You are living in a professional life, personal life, so continue to live it. You are bringing a change from inside, the qualitative change in your personal life. If these changes are not coming, then what should I say? And it demands constant contemplation and reflection. No, I don't have too much of time to think about it. Also, you have a lot of time to think about your anxiety, your reaction, your blame, your complaint. That is how the mind cheats you. We want to live into that real self 24 by 7. That is the meaning of awakened state. Second goal. What is the second goal? Peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom I've been talking about. So there will be a greater realization that when I'm with a person or a honey or anyone or any object or even the car or food, as long as they are in contact with sense organs, with the mind in the form of a thought, feeling, and emotion, I get the pleasure. Sooner that disconnection takes place, that pleasure is gone. So I have to convert that pleasure into peace, into happiness, into joy. That is what the awakening is. For that, we need to listen and learn, contemplate and reflect, means I have a clear understanding. And when I have a clear understanding, so in that session, Dennis, I said, do you understand that there is a poisonous snake there? Oh, yes, I understand. Then do you ask me that how to implement, how to safeguard yourself? No. Do you see that idea, that thought, that awareness does not come to the mind? That is why I'm saying that I intellectually understand, but I'm not able to apply. And in between comes the impurity. I'm leaving that part there. I have already discussed in detail. So remember this, this is very, very important. Then it will definitely is going to change you. And it is changing. I could see when you are sharing your experiences, I could see the changes. So the first step completes all the 39 steps. But we have to understand it clearly so that studying the Eastern wisdom is to study yourself. You pick up any topic, any subject. Discernment. Do I live in discernment? Dispassion. Do I live in discernment? No, I have an anxiety. Oh, is it because of expectation or attachment? Come on. Don't go to the modern scientific explanations. They give you 50 reasons of anxiety, and the 51st reason, causes are still unknown. You go and find out on the Google for any disease. I can bet you. At last, they say the causes are still unknown. But this knowledge helps me to know more about myself, that where the delusion is, where the suffering is. So I have an understanding. Oh, anxiety comes because of the attachment. No, he made me crazy. That is okay. That's a very good statement. But from where the craziness has entered into your mind? Your mind is crazy, isn't it? Yes. So why the mind has become crazy? Is there an option that let him do anything he wants, and I will hold the mind? No, you cannot go anywhere. You see, study of Eastern wisdom is to study yourself. And the more you study yourself, what is that meaning? You rise in awareness. What is this rise in awareness? You are able to organize your life. You are dropping now the ignorance. whether in terms of it is anxiety or duality or a conflict. That is why we don't say we will remove end of pain. No, we say end of suffering, mental, emotional, psychological, whatever it is. It is inside, created by the delusion. Due to the ignorance, we will bring an end to the suffering. That is the first goal, and second is the awakening. So I just pick up a couple of 15 steps are just the preparatory steps. Oh, I have learned so much. Yes, it may be some practices, some steps are repetition, but they are more or less, uh, they prepare a strong foundation. Do you remember the four types of seeker and the best seeker? These 15 steps makes you the finest seeker. What is the meaning of the finest seeker? You cannot forget the real self. But I became angry and agitated and reacted to it. Yes, but still you remember that you are a seeker. But why I got agitated? Because of my past impressions. We have a clear answer to that. Oh, it means if I get rid of that and I follow these principles, ah, everything will happen. Everything will change. I'm just looking at that. Let me give you some idea about these 15 steps of uh, what are these 15 steps. So, the second step we have already covered, that first step, study Eastern wisdom to study myself. Now, the knowledge is clear how I have to act. What is that action? How I have to think, speak, and physically act in my personal life, in my professional life, in my social life, in all different areas of the life. So the master here explores, our teachers explores that who exactly is the doer. Is it the body, mind, intellect, and ego, or something else, which I claim as I, and I don't find I? So it means there is some existence who acts as a doer. That becomes the third step. Second step, I have to perform an action. What is my personal duty? Let me do it. What is my duty here? Don't spend the time in gossip. Just start the lesson, give the practice, share the experiences, appreciate, understand, and finished. Do you see that? Same thing with everyone. This guy, Jerry, knows the tall figure. He said, my dad is crazy. No, I said, you need not to give him a label that he is crazy. Now he has become a great seeker. I said, you perform your duty. When you are before your dad, what should you do? What is your duty? No, I should pay respect. Okay, pay respect. You are living separately, independently. No, but he forces. He said, okay, I will think. I will think later. I have already noted what you said to me. I will think about it. Surely I will implement it. And then come back home and think of it. But why he gets upset? Because of the emotional attachment. So he recognized, he said, I'm just attached because of my attachment. Get rid of this attachment. Get rid of it. So let us see the third one. Now the third one, you recognize that, I should not act out of my binding desire. That becomes the third step. I should not think out of the binding desire. No, I'm mother, no one respects me. I had another woman who said, I said, are you my mother also? But still I respect you. We are of both similar ages, I'm 66 and she is also 66. So you see that? Do you see? I'm just pulling out all the 15 steps. I thought of something different and I have written down, and I just want to present before you all, and I'm not finding it. So maybe I have put somewhere else. I don't know where I could. And now you see that the first step, study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Done. You expand your intellect and knowledge. So then, okay, I have understood it, how I have to act in my daily living, my personal life, my professional life, social. So the action is one thing, and the doer of that action is the second. So our focus is on the doer. The who is the doer in me? If ego is the doer, you are going to make a presentation, your feet will start trembling because the false side. But if you clear, oh no, I'm not the doer, here is the knowledge, let me present it, finished. Well, let me talk. Let me present before you. Now, some desires, binding desire, because of the attachment interferes in my life. So it means these desires are springing from my false I, from my ego. Existence expects something from me, and I am expecting something else from the same world. There is a conflict between the two, and that causes a lot of challenges in our life. Ah, let me do my, let the knower be devoted to that existence. I am using the word devotion means, oh, that is why I started from the point of view of the wave, the water. Wave, water. I'm just a small fragment in the entire universe. Somebody knocks the door, I open the door and he kills me. But I open the door in the. Have you seen that? There are a lot of activities. Someone knocks the door and I welcome him, he comes and he offers me a great opportunity. That comes from the existence, but secondly, I have a desire. So that separation comes in the fourth step. And what comes the fifth step? I have to get rid of it. All those desires which are binding in nature. It does not mean that you are not living a personal, professional, social. You prepare a project for the business. No issue. You are preparing a project for business. Do whatever you are doing. But that emotional, that thought of binding is not there. What happens? You remove your sins from your life. What are the sins? I have already explained to you. Sin means any unfavorable condition. 99.9% unfavorable condition comes because of my clinging to desires. From the attachment causes the delusion that comes. Yes, let me end the fifth one. Now, in the sixth to the 10th is a repetition, but totally in a different way. That what exactly, how the intellect gains the knowledge, not the knowledge of the world outside, but knowledge about yourself. So there we understand that we are made up of, the becoming part is made up of three bodies: the physical, subtle, and the causal bodies. These three bodies further gives me the five layers of experiences. These are five koshas, the panch kosha. Physical body, one kosha, food sheath we say, and subtle body is made up of three bodies, three koshas, three coverings. That is energy sheath, that is mental sheath, that is an intellectual sheath. And the causal is Anandamaya kosha, which is just nothing but the causal body. Ignorance is there. And then we understand that how this relationship between the mind and the intellect. I look at you through the same sense organ. It is the mind. Now let the mind become impulsive. Then I will be biased to one and unbiased to the other. Who knows that there is a bias? It is the intellect. So the intellect should rule over the mind in all the situations. What is this? This is the power of discernment. It is applied everywhere. You all apply in your daily life. You have an urge, you go to the restroom, you don't go to the kitchen. But if you have an urge to prepare a cup of tea, then you go to the kitchen. It is the power of discernment. So this master is bringing these steps and making it a common sense approach. You're talking to your mom, said you something, and you get upset. Next moment, it is the mind. The intellect discerns it. And then you just enter into the state of the calmness, self-awareness finished. That is why we say live in a moment. But unless we understand the basic principles, it is not possible. Then, yes, fashion statement, I'm living in a moment. You have already seen, living, mindfulness, living in a moment. It will not work. Discernment, dispassion. Now, because of that dispassion, I already experienced the calmness. It is gone. I'm not holding it. I'm not controlling it. It is released. Why it is released? Because there is no doership. The false I is not burning inside that, mom, you said me something nasty. I cannot tolerate, but you are my mom, so I'm controlling myself. No, these thoughts are not coming. The basic transformation takes place in your personality, in your behavior, in your attitude. That is required to become the great seeker. And when you become a great seeker, you never forget that. You never forget. You're always a seeker. Once a seeker, you're always a seeker. And once you are always a seeker, what is going to happen? Think of it. Anxiety comes, how the seeker treats the anxiety. Reaction comes, how the seeker treats the reaction. How the seeker relates with the relationship. Are you getting it? What I want to convey. These 15 steps. Remarkable thing happens in your life. What is that remarkable? My master used to say in a very different way, but don't take that meaning literally. But then I will explain you. Master used to say, let this world go to hell. I'm in peace. Don't take it literally. It means that I'm getting away from the attachment and the delusion pertaining to the world in my relationship with my personal, professional, social, and the family life. Are you thinking in that? That makes you a seeker. So, seeker now knows that suffering comes from the delusion, from the ignorance, from the impurities of the mind. You have an instant recognition, and from that instant recognition, you get rid of it. You enter into that state of the calmness, but you recognize that yes, I have to continue my journey to reach to that state of the real self. There are people of different age group here. According to the Pew, we have a silent generation, we have a generation X, we have millennials, we have baby boomers. So they have done a good work, and I could see that they see that how people communicate, how people of a different generation think, speak, and act. You can Google out and you can find out which generation you belongs to, because that will be a different topic altogether. So, so you see that studying sacred text, they were silent generation who are over 70. They think that, oh, Upanishad, yoga is a sacred text. It will give us the moral guidance. But the training is the same. Training is the same. That is what I wanted to cover. So I will cover in detail. But now, what about the baby boomers? They incorporate daily spiritual reading into your routine for personal growth. Reading plus practice. Huh? That is for baby boomers. There are many baby boomers here. So Gen X. Don't think that, if you don't have a baby, then you are not a baby boomers. It has to do with the age group. So, so don't think that. So you see the different expression. Why I brought this topic? Because then my mind will strike. Oh, my age group and a particular. I'm explaining only the first, studying the Eastern wisdom. That is to study myself. That is a common statement. And then what about the Gen X? Explore ancient wisdom through regular study of the philosophical text. You see, the expression is different. Millennials set aside time daily for daily mindfulness. Millennials are more, seem to be practical, they want to go in. And Generation G, a younger one, below, uh, what they think. Follow educational accounts on social media. So I was teaching very young, she was hardly, 18. or 90. She said, I have found what you are teaching on the Facebook. I said, okay, follow it. Also give me the link. So I will cover again these 15 steps in a different way so that you will understand that these teachings are very much relevant here. But for the sake of your information before doing the practice, mm, I have deleted the entire Facebook account. So anyone in my name request you, so don't follow them in my name. I deleted all. It will take another 15 days or 30 days. Just delete it. Anyhow, close your eyes. Eyes are closed and just find out. Find out what. Do you remember the place, position, and posture? Please communicate to yourself. You are studying yourself. Place, yes, I'm in a room. But more important that you are aware of the space all around you. What I'm doing, as a teacher, I'm raising your awareness through different means, different tools. That should be the goal of a teacher of this Eastern wisdom. Then the position and the posture being comfortable. Comfortable. I give you three layers: sensation, physical, comfort, mental experience, steadiness, much deeper. That is how we have to discover ourselves. You are in anxiety and or your mind wants to react to a person, tell your mind, be comfortable with eyes open and you'll be free. I'm just telling you in your daily living. You have to bring about those changes. Being carefree. Being carefree. If other is talking to you and you are not interested, just watch. These thoughts are just passing, and the space deeper inside the mind does not change. Don't do it with me. Then you will not be able to learn properly. That is what I told you, the carefree. You pick up a space and be aware of the space inside your forehead, and you separate. That space is not affected even if you have crazy thoughts, good thought, bad thought, right? Oh, it doesn't affect you. They continue. Like how highway doesn't change because of the traffic. The sky does not change, even the millions of the birds are flying. The sky remains the same. So that is how we are moving ahead into this program of sadhana panchkam. Then we come to this with that clarity and self-awareness. Now the intellect is passing on the knowledge and the mind is ready. What is that? The entire world outside. Is the world outside different and separate from me? Yes, I see that separate from me. Sleep, in deep sleep, it is totally separate from me. Not only the first neighbor, but also all the neighbors are out, except one. Can you figure out? Ignorance. I don't know whether I'm alive or dead, whether I have a pain or not, whether I have honey or not. So I'm in total ignorance. The first neighbor, just I'm simply saying you think and be aware. Second neighbor is the body. Now, see, if you do not claim that you are the body, the world will not exist. Don't claim that you are the body, the world disappears. I'm just giving you some food so that you You will definitely know that in future sessions, we will take this meditation deeper. The third is the energy body. I gave you reference of the hunger and the thirst, but this energy, modern science, that is an expression, but expression from the Eastern wisdom, it is one life, one life. So where is the problem? I say it is my life. Do you see that the life of a tiger is different from the life of you? Life is one. But why I feel that it is different? Because of the shape and the size of the body and the capacities of the body. Do you see the life of an ant is different from the life that you have? It is the same. Functions are different. Fourth is the mind, the pain and the pleasure, huh? Victory and the defeat, profit and the loss. It is the mind that declares that you win or you lose. It is the mind that declares that I marry or divorce. It is the mind, not you. Fourth neighbor and the fifth neighbor is the intellect. I thought. So there, I thought is, I thought mind supports this. I thought with the strong likes and dislikes, and we decide I will marry, I will divorce, I will fight with you, I will keep a distance, I will get pleasure from you. Oh, and the sixth neighbor is the ignorance. I have to apply this knowledge in any meditation if my goal is awakening. If my goal is simple relaxation and calmness, so called mindfulness, I have no issue and problem. You simply do any practice without any knowledge. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Now I'm asking the mind, can you really transcend all the six neighbors? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Why? Everyone is searching for happiness, but why? Happiness is the essential nature. That is why I'm searching. Did your mom and your parents teach you at the time of the birth? My son, my baby, start searching peace and happiness, or it was so natural? We don't pick up what exactly is natural in a positive way. We pick up everything that is negative in a natural. No, no, inherited problem I have. Congenital problem. Oh, it's because of the DNA. My mind is upset. What should I do? Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. So your intellect is contemplating, and you reach there. Where you reach there, that peace is the common factor. Science says we one group classification of all the living beings, the Homo sapiens, and the animal kingdom, and the plant, and then animal is classified again, the insects and reptiles, mammals. What our classification is totally different. Look at it. Peace and happiness is the common factor. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness, wholeness. Oh, I came from the whole, so I should be whole. Is wave not a whole? Do you think that the wave converts the H2O into different elements? Because of the ignorance, I don't see. I pay more attention to the name and the form. Six neighbors. That is the problem. It is in front of us. And Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. You see, I'm just supplying the knowledge to you, and if you are really contemplating and reflecting, you are already in the state of the calmness and peace. And if you are thinking every day, contemplating, reflecting in your personal, professional, and social, what is going to happen? Can you think of it? I don't have time to think. So then, looking deep inside the forehead in the space, now you see again you're triggering Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then you start breathing long in the deep into your chest, long deep in the hissing breath, not the fast one. Total expansion of the rib cage and total contraction of the rib cage. Please continue. Long, your total expansion of the ribs and total contraction of the rib, but Om Shanti continues. So, because you are gently doing the Om Shanti, you are reminding with every breath to your mind. Don't get excited. Don't create anxiety. Don't even think that you are tired. Invoke the endurance. There should be a joy of doing what I'm doing. I'm just supplying the knowledge so that your mind should not dominate you with the thoughts of ignorance. Continue. Mm, mm. Yes, sometime your mind slows down your breathing. Recognize it. Recognize. No, I have to do it. Why? Who says I have to do it? Endurance and the intellect. Why I have to do it? Powers, four powers of the intellect. I'm just reminding you what we have studied. We are just applying. Oh, can I really do it, or I will just go to the gym for first 3 months and then I will come back and do the breathing? I can do it. If you have such a thought, you're not following the East and West. No exceptions are there. If one has some problem of heart ailment and very serious, obviously, then we have a modification. Otherwise, continue long, deep in the hissing breath. Long, deep in the hissing breath, my friends. Continue. Long, deep in the hissing breath continues. Om Shanti continues. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body continues. And you may experience the changes. There is a change in your experience, and you continue. And now stop this, pay attention to the flow of the breath. Does your mind reminds you that you are becoming aware of the flow of the breath, and if any one flow is less, you continue pay attention there, and at the same time you continue to enjoy the change in your experience. It may be tingling, it may be numbness, it may be seem to be a blankness completely. It's okay. Sudden blankness makes us reactive. So we are gradually stepping into the higher journey. Again, continue Om Shanti, and this time the belly breathing long, deep in the hissing breath. Pay attention that as you inhale, the belly becomes a balloon, and when you exhale, your belly button touches the spine. It means you're squeezing the entire area of the belly. Lower belly, upper belly, right side of the belly, left. The entire region goes out and inside with a long, deep in the hissing breath. Pay attention. You're not moving the body. If you are moving the body, the mind is transferring that anxiety at the physical level. Then it becomes difficult to succeed in the higher journey. You're breathing deep, long in the hissing breath. You might have seen that in many sessions I skip sometime couple of the steps, but we have to do all the steps. I will come up to that. Continue long, deep in the hissing breath. The body remains steady. You're dropping Shanti deep inside the forehead into the space, and And now stop this breathing. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. So paying attention to the flow of the breath, you're able to maintain your awareness. With that reference of the awareness, you are checking, you are understanding. There is a change in experience. Any active step can bring about a temporary change, like the pills, but permanent change comes by simply when the knowledge is totally absorbed. Now is the time to look inside the forehead, in the no, in the cave of your heart. Visualize the triangle of any color, equilateral triangle pointing upward and dropping Om Shanti. First piece of awareness, second part of the awareness, moving the mind on a side of a triangle. Movement of the mind, the mantra, and the side of the triangle. There are three-pointed awareness. You move it on the clockwise and anti-clockwise. What is going to happen? The mind is deeply into a calmer state. Your mind will say, why you have such a small triangle? Make a big triangle. Mind wants to enjoy that point. And if that enjoyment is there, that joy will take the mind deeper within. And once you find that you are able to sync, moving the mind in a clockwise and anti-clockwise, that is the right moment to sing mentally, pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops. When seemingly stops, you drop Shanti, and after that, you do nothing. Let the existence take care of all the six neighbors. That is the third point I reflected on, that when we recognize that I am the consciousness, then I'm the existence. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down to share our experiences. Anyone can raise their hand if they are always in a hurry to leave the session, so that they should share the experiences in the very beginning. So anyhow, how are you, Stephen?
Thank you, sir. I'm very good. Been very focused on the self-discovery aspect and applying the principles. I'm understanding a lot of the things that we've talked about in the past, especially during the my own self-reflection and contemplation or reflection. And I hear you in the back of my head going, "The knowledge is revealed," and I'm understanding that more and more each day. As far as my meditation goes, it was extremely smooth, calm, quiet, and went very fast. So thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, if you are contemplating, reflecting, your entire life will accept the teaching. That is very simple. Just one thing is coming, but I will talk about later. Let's have David and Jerry to share their experience.
Thank you, sir. I'm just reminded reminded of how simple the fundamentals are, how easy they are, but how complicated we as human beings make it. And applying the intellect to the mind was kind of my theme or takeaway from today. And going into the meditation, I applied that, and I had a very, very deep meditation. So thank you.
Beautifully said. It is very simple, but we make it very complex. By the way, that thought is, my mind is prompting me to say that. In one of the texts, think of it. I'm asking everyone, including me, to think of it. What the master says, recognize and realize the real self. I'm translating one verse from another text. So after the first line, he says, "Oh, fool, foolish." But what is this foolishness? How master explains this foolishness? It contains the secret. So I explain in a different way. How many times you had the anxiety during the last 10 years? Reaction, hatred, jealousy, disturbed sleep, insomnia. How many times during the last 10 years? Just take it only 10 years. Can you count 100,000 times? Are you wise or fool? That master is very tough. So I just brought this teaching. So it's very important. It's very simple. So through regular understanding, you reach to that simplicity. And yeah, let us, Jerry, come on there.
Thank you, sir. It's a really good meditation, deep meditation. My takeaway was that the power of the discernment and the dispassion, and my mind went to when I used to work emergency, and some patients would come in that were stoic with their pain, and so we wouldn't medicate them. But the body, and if you ask them, there was pain in the body, but they weren't suffering. And then there was the patients that were screaming and writhing in pain, and we would give them pain medicine. And the pain medicine didn't take away the pain, but it made them not care about it. And that's kind of how this discernment and dispassion helps us to know that it's there. We're aware of it, but we don't care about it. It doesn't affect our peace. We're not suffering.
Beautifully said. You see the application of these simple principles, because you all are seekers, and if you apply these principles in your daily life, Barbara, you have to apply these principles. You know what I want to say to your grandson. So it's a beautiful, so the more you contemplate, you come out with hundreds of applications. One day, say, for example, one guy insulted you and you reacted. Second, because you are a seeker, the second day, the same guy insulted you. Now you are not at all, you don't feel that insult. How come? Discernment and dispassion. So now the choice lies, which one I have to choose? If I choose continuously the same thing, oh fool, I include myself also. How are you, Brandy?
Morning. Thank you. I'm sorry I came in late. I came from work. Anyway, I'm applying the principles, and I feel like I have a lot of opportunities.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for good or ill, but I appreciated when you said during the meditation to let the existence take care of the neighbors. And that theme kind of goes along with my application of the principles and that it's surrender, I mean, I just let go of the death grip on the ego and the stuff and the, and it's,
Yes.
it seems to be helping.
So I'm right in thinking, that I have to give all these 15 steps a different expression. The Brandy has put existence takes care of everything, but it may not be applicable to the silent generation. It may not be applicable to the younger one. So I will use that is why I'm using the different expressions. Beautiful. Thank you.
I'm in Gen X. It works for Gen Xer for me.
Gen X.
Gen X, yeah.
How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the lesson. I came to realize recently that my application of many of these principles is to preserve inner peace no matter what happens outside. Like I always get reminded by the saying, by your master's saying that, "O mind, be at peace." This will pass. Yes.
Beautiful.
And my practice was very calm and peaceful, and like Stevens, it passed really quickly. Was very fast, and at the end there was a sense of overwhelming peace. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. I have been requesting you that when others share their experiences, you may like to note down, you may like to absorb it. So as Brandy was saying that it's a Gen X, and Dennis' expression is more towards millennials. So I learn a lot. You might not be thinking, but I learn a lot. When you share these experiences. So I just change it and then I use it for my other seekers. So how are you, Barbara?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I am trying the principles, and I know that I do have to try harder. It has to become a part of me.
Yeah.
The meditation for me was very, very peaceful. When you said that let the existence take care of the six neighbors, it just felt like I was floating through this beautiful sea of color. It was wonderful.
It is wonderful. You see that? You see that, you have done a lot of good research studies. They have classified the different age groups, but sometimes because of your mental evolution, you enter into a different age group. And that is how the Barbara explained. So look into these expressions that, oh, whether this expression fits me, oh, very good, let me take it. Or if it doesn't fit me, how come? So that will become a part of the learning, the contemplation and reflection. And it will help you to reach to that state faster. How are you, Samir?
Sir, ignorance is not staying for long in my head. It means mind is hungry for peace. Means it wants
Yeah.
to go in peace. It is not interested in this ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And getting into all these kind of thinking stuff. So
Yeah.
it wants to make a path, what to follow, how to get to a good solution to the problem, and leave the ignorance.
Definitely. You have touched upon a good point that moment anxiety comes, reaction comes, duality comes, conflict comes. No, I don't have this. I have this. I get a pain. Let me brush it aside. Let me enter into my peace first. That's another way of a seeker life. Beautiful. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. The phrase "one with" sort of comes to mind today. When I think of where there's still relationships of difficulty and where I need more practice to remember that I'm one with, I'm one of, we are the same.
Yeah.
Really came to light today.
Yeah. You see, everyone has a different expressions. So the more we take it, the way they are, each one of you are explaining, it gives you much more understanding and deeper understanding than what I talked in the beginning. And how are you, Terry?
I think letting it go is my expression.
Yes, letting it go.
Picked up on.
So letting it go. Who says letting it go? The intellect. If the intellect is aware, is not dictated by the mind, then it is very easy. If the mind is dictated by the intellect, if the mind dictates the intellect, then even if you continue to say letting it go, it will not go.
Mhm.
So
And
we have to.
my anxiety, I have separated
Good.
into there's that really it's there's a physical or
Yeah.
chemical brain chemical that gives you a physical feeling of anxiety, but then there's the reason that you've attached to it, or for some reason that's so I separate them. And
Good.
the physical one is harder to get rid of.
Yes.
But
If we
that's how
so
I'm viewing it with dispassion.
yes, that is what I wanted to say. The separation means that internally I see that I am none of them. And that is where let it go takes place. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर मेडिटेशन बहुत अच्छी थी, बहुत अच्छी। सर एक दुविधा है कि सब एक है, तो जो लोग मुझे परेशान कर रहे हैं वो मुझे लेसन देने के लिए या प्रारब्ध है?
Very good. She has asked a beautiful question, and that is because of the Indian tradition always communicates with their neighbors, and that is why we say that India is a spiritual land. So I will raise the question to you all, and you think of it, and we will discuss in the next lesson. So I have already given the answer of it in 2 or 3 sessions before. So what is her beautiful question? That all are one, isn't it? That is what I always say. All are one. So if one is fighting against me, if one is giving me the pain, how to deal with that if all are one? You have to think of it. Huh? Did you understand the question, Stephen? If all are one, I see all are one, but the guy who is fighting and who is beating me, who is slapping in me, how should I deal with this? So don't leave any question unanswered. That is what the Eastern wisdom says. So please think it over, and then I will give an answer. I've already given an answer, I think 2 or 3 sessions before. Can I remind you? The guy on the second floor asking the question. Anyhow, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.